Hey friends, I have a happy story to share. It's about two great players. It's about Caitlin Clark. It's also about Sophie Cunningham. They are now teammates on the Indiana Fever. They are now friends. They play under coach Stephanie White. They work hard every day. They share big dreams. Their journey began on January 31st, 2025. Sophie joined the Indiana Fever in a 4-team trade. She packed her bag and flew north. She met a new city and a new squad. She saw Caitlin for the first time. Caitlin smiled and said hello softly. They shook hands with shy grins. They felt hope and excitement bloom. They felt the spark of a fresh start. They felt the joy of a new bond. In the locker room, they shared water bottles. They shared snacks from home. They shared stories of college days. They whispered hopes for a bright season. They giggled at small jokes. They slapped each other on the back. They learned each other's quirks and jokes. Sophie once said, "I just think she's had a lot of pressure put on her shoulders. A lot of people haven't walked in her footsteps." She added, "We have to be there for each other." They promised to always lift one another. On social media, they teased each other. Caitlin posted a photo of Sophie's new hairstyle. She captioned it with a playful jab. Sophie replied with a quick clap back. They laughed at the banter courtside. Fans cheered for their playful vibe. Fans saw real friendship blossom. Fans saw pure joy on the court. Fans felt that magic spark grow. On a big night, fans hailed them. They called them an insane combo. They cheered as Sophie hit a big three. They cheered as Caitlin passed the ball perfectly. They hugged in the huddle under bright lights. They ran back down the court grinning. They set goals for many more big plays. They felt their synergy rise with each pass. They knew they had something special. In another game, Sophie protected Caitlin. She grabbed an opponent who poked Caitlin in the eye. She was ejected for her fierce defense. Her reaction went viral online. Fans bought more of her jerseys. Fans praised her loyalty and heart. They saw a sisterhood on the hardwood. They saw a bond that felt like family. They saw two stars lifting each other. They saw a friendship that shines brightly. Off the court, they dined together. They try new restaurants in Indiana. They laugh over funny videos on their phones. They talk late into the night. They dream about winning a title. They dream about breaking more records. They dream about helping each other grow. They dream about making history together. They feel lucky to have found each other. They feel that this is just the start. This is a beautiful story. In this video, we will see more games. We will see more laughs. We will see more teamwork. We will see more magic. We will see more support. We will see more smiles. They found a new rhythm on the court. They learned to move together. They found a shared rhythm. In early February, they practiced in the team gym. They dribbled and passed in unison. They chased for bounds side by side. They talked through pick and roll reads. They learned each other habits. Caitlin saw Sophie pocket screens. Sophie saw Caitlin spot open. They built trust with each play. They built smiles with each pass. Their first preseason game came in early May. They felt nerves and hope. They sprinted onto the floor. They felt the crowd roar. They heard cheers of Indiana Blue. They saw family and friends. They smiled and nodded at each other. They knew they had each other back. Cementing trust felt simple. They scored the first points together. Caitlin found Sophie on the wing. Sophie sank a three with calm grace. They hugged after the shot. They felt pure joy. They felt promise in that hug. In mid-May, they had a tough loss. They sat on the bench together. They talked about mistakes. They promised to learn. They promised to grow. They promised to support one another. By June, they felt stronger. They saw pickups in games. They shared smiles and huddles. They ran in fast breaks. Sophie stole a ball and found Caitlin trailing. Caitlin finished at the rim. They high-fived before the next snap. They felt proud of their teamwork. Their coach praised their chemistry. They felt proud of each other. They visited a children's hospital one afternoon. They were big smiles. They sat and chatted. They signed autographs. They laughed with small fans. They felt their bond grow deeper. They felt grateful for their roles. They felt they had purpose beyond wins. On a road trip, they shared a hotel room. They ordered pizza late at night. They joked about silly things. They played cards on the bed. They giggled until their teeth hurt. They shared stories of home. They talked about dreams away from basketball. They promised to stay best friends no matter what. They joined a podcast interview one afternoon. They laughed on live radio. They spoke about each other's strengths. They praised trust and teamwork. They smiled at fans online. They felt happy to share their story today. They faced a rival team known for defense. They felt the tension high. Sophie had to guard her old team. Caitlin found space against tough matchups. They fought hard for every point. They hugged after each big play. They felt their bond carry them. They won the game by 2 points. In a tough game, Sophie took a hard foul. Caitlin noticed immediately. She rushed over with concern. She helped Sophie to her feet. She hugged her friend tight. She stayed by her side. She whispered calm words. Sophie nodded through the pain. She smiled and said, "I'm okay." They returned to play together. Months into the season, they grew closer. They lifted each other's spirits. They joked through rough patches. They celebrated each victory. They supported each loss. They built memories that last. They found a sisterhood in battle. They found laughter in the struggle. They sat in a locker after a win. They shared cold towels. They spoke of tomorrow's game. They spoke of dreams for the playoffs. They spoke of growth and faith. They spoke of being there always. They felt their bond unbreakable. They felt their friendship true. In mid-June, the magic grew on the court. On June 14th, two friends stood side by side at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Caitlin had just returned from a leg injury. Sophie had been strong in defense. The Fever faced the New York Liberty that night. The crowd was loud and bright. Fans cheered for every pass. Caitlin sank a three with pure calm. Sophie followed with her own three-point shot. Together, they made 17 three-point baskets for the team. That was a new Fever record. They hugged in the light of that night. Their smiles lit up the arena with hope. In early March, Sophie showed her heart in action. On March 15th, the Fever played the Connecticut Sun. The game was fierce and close. A Sun player poked Caitlin in the eye. Sophie saw the flinch on Caitlin's face. In a flash, Sophie ran over. She grabbed the player's wrist and pulled her away. The refs saw the moment. They gave Sophie a foul and ejected her for over-the-top defense. Social media lit up with praise. Fans called her an enforcer. They bought her jerseys in droves within hours. They cheered her loyalty and courage. In late April, after a big win over the Atlanta Dream, the vibe was electric. Sophie scored 16 points and grabbed 10 rebounds in the game. The team posted a highlight clip online. In the caption, Caitlin wrote one simple word, dog. She used that word to describe Sophie's effort. Fans saw it as playful love. They laughed and tagged friends. They felt the bond between the two. They shared the post thousands of times. That tiny word made fans feel they were part of the story. It showed how close the two stars had become. In late June, Sophie chose a playful look before a big game. On the day of the matchup against the Las Vegas Aces, she wore a top featuring herself, Caitlin, and Lexi with the words Trace Leches. Fans called it cheeky and clever. They saw how she wanted to show her bond with Caitlin. Every photo fans shared showed the two laughing together. Many said it was the best pre-match look they had ever seen. The shirt became a symbol of their friendship on and off the court. In July, Caitlin faced a new challenge. A nagging groin injury kept her off the court. The coach said she was day-to-day. She missed the three-point contest and the All-Star game. Coach Stephanie White said the team would rally around Caitlin and Sophie would lead in her absence. Sophie was there on the sideline. She cheered loudly for Caitlin. She held a sign for her friend. She carried her water bottle and wiped sweat from her brow. She spoke of how proud she was of Caitlin. One day during practice, the team shared a funny photo of Sophie running. Her hair was wild and free. Caitlin saw the photo online. She tagged Sophie and wrote, "Love this hairstyle." It was a joke shared with a smile. Sophie laughed aloud. She replied with a cute emoji. Fans saw the playful banter on Instagram. They sent hearts and clapped emojis. The simple joke filled many comment threads. It gave fans a laugh during a tough season. It showed that even the biggest stars can share a simple joke like old friends. This summer felt tough on the court. Caitlin struggled with a groin strain. She missed 4 games in July. Sophie stepped up without missing a beat. She scored 21 points against Chicago on July 5th. She grabbed 9 boards too. She led the team to a 96-90 win. Fans cheered her fearless play. Off the court, they stayed close. Sophie invited Caitlin to team dinners. They cooked pasta with veteran guards. They talked about life beyond basketball. They shared stories of family and home. They laughed about silly college memories. They dreamed of winning together. They built a sisterhood that feels so real. In late June, the Fever unveiled plans for a new practice facility. The center will open by 2027 near Gamebridge Fieldhouse. It will be 108,000 square feet of training space. Sophie and Caitlin attended the ribbon-cutting ceremony. They posed for photos under bright lights. They talked about growth and community impact. They felt a new sense of pride for their team. Caitlin earned a spot as WNBA All-Star co-captain in July. She broke the fan vote record with over 1.29 million ballots cast. Sophie stood on stage beside her friend. They both waved at the sea of fans. They felt joy in that moment of unity. They knew how far they had come together. Fans on TikTok and Instagram fell for their playful banter. A clip of Sophie teasing Caitlin about missing free throws exploded online. Caitlin laughed and teased Sophie back. That video racked up millions of views in a single day. Fans flooded comments with heart emojis and cheering gifs. They said these two felt like real best friends. Now they chase a playoff dream as the regular season winds down. They practice hard at the future training center site. They watch film until their eyes ache. They push each other to be stronger. They fight through injuries and doubts. They cheer each victory and learn from each loss. They believe a championship could be the next chapter of their story. They believe in each other with all their hearts. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, leave a comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.